It's easy to stand there and look at a camera and say whatever you want. We've got more heart. Oh, okay. It doesn't make it true, so no, it doesn't bother me.
Parker Schnabel, the Gold Rush star known for his fearless approach to digging up treasure, walks into a Taco Bell, ready for a simple meal. But as he stands in line, something strange happens. Two boys, barely old enough to be in high school, lean in and whisper to each other, their words barely audible, but enough to make Parker freeze. What they say shakes him to his core. The buzz of the fast food restaurant fades away as a chill runs down his spine. This was no ordinary day, and no ordinary encounter. Who is Parker Schnabel? Parker Schnabel may not be a household name to everyone, but for fans of Gold Rush, he's nothing short of a rock star. Imagine being in your early 20s and already managing a multi-million-dollar gold mining business. That's exactly what Parker has achieved. Born on July 22, 1994, in Haines, Alaska, Parker grew up in a family of miners. His grandfather, John Schnabel, was the owner of Big Nugget Mine, and it was from him that Parker inherited his passion for striking gold. From a young age, Parker showed a knack for hard work and leadership. While most teenagers were worried about homework and high school drama, Parker was taking charge of heavy machinery and leading mining crews. His big break came when he took over his grandfather's operation at just 16 years old. Viewers of Gold Rush got to see this incredible transition firsthand, and it wasn't long before Parker became one of the most respected figures in the industry. The reality show Gold Rush didn't just document Parker's rise to prominence, it cemented it. When he first appeared on the show, audiences were drawn to his intelligence, determination, and mature decision-making. Over the seasons, Parker moved on from his family's mine to start his own operations, pushing himself to break records year after year. His unwavering focus on success and willingness to take risks paid off in gold, both literally and figuratively. Parker isn't just about making money, he's about doing it the right way. He's known for treating his crew with respect and staying grounded, even as the cameras follow his every move. That's why he stands out, not just as a miner, but as a human being. Here's what makes Parker truly special. Despite his success, he's still the same guy who isn't afraid to roll up his sleeves and get his hands dirty. Parker has often said that mining isn't just a job, it's his life, and his work ethic shows it. While other reality TV stars might be caught up in their fame, Parker stays focused on what matters most: finding gold and honoring his grandfather's legacy. Fans love his no-nonsense attitude, but they also appreciate his moments of vulnerability. Parker has shared struggles on Gold Rush, from financial setbacks to personal doubts. It's these moments that make him relatable, especially to younger viewers. He's living proof that you can succeed by working hard and staying true to yourself. Parker's story resonates with people because it's real. He didn't become successful overnight. He worked for it, faced challenges, and made mistakes along the way. Younger audiences in particular admire him for his grit and determination. Parker's humility is another reason fans are drawn to him. Whether he's on a mining site or grabbing a taco, he's the same approachable guy. This is where the story takes a turn. Fans may know him as the tough, serious miner on TV, but what happens when a couple of teenage fans encounter him in real life? That brings us to his unexpected visit to Taco Bell. The Taco Bell visit, picture this. It's a regular weekday evening at a bustling Taco Bell. The restaurant is alive with the hum of orders being called out, the soft crunch of tortilla chips, and the chatter of customers. In walks Parker Schnabel, not in a flashy car or surrounded by an entourage, but alone, looking as casual as ever. He's dressed in his usual laid-back style, a simple t-shirt, jeans, and maybe a ball cap. No gold chains or Hollywood airs, just Parker being Parker. For someone used to operating heavy machinery and digging through dirt, he blends in effortlessly. He's just another guy in line, scanning the menu like the rest of us. But here's where the story gets interesting. While Parker is busy deciding between a Crunchwrap Supreme and a quesadilla, he doesn't realize he's become the center of attention for two teenage boys sitting in a nearby booth. At first, the boys aren't sure if it's really him. "Is that Parker Schnabel?" one whispers to the other. They squint, trying not to stare too obviously, but their excitement is hard to contain. For fans of Gold Rush, seeing Parker Schnabel in the flesh is like spotting a celebrity at a movie premiere. One of the boys nudges the other. No way! What would Parker Schnabel be doing at Taco Bell? The skepticism quickly turns to awe as they realize it's definitely him. Parker, still unaware of the commotion he's causing, steps forward to place his order. Meanwhile, the boys are in a frenzy of hushed whispers. Should we say something? What if he thinks we're weird? They debate their next move, their excitement bubbling over. This is the hook that changes everything. One of the boys leans in closer to his friend and says something that Parker overhears. What was it? That's the part that stops Parker cold. Was it admiration? Did they say something personal about his life or career? Or was it just the kind of playful banter teenagers are known for? Whatever it was, it struck a chord with Parker, making him pause in his tracks. This is where the story takes on a new layer of intrigue. Did Parker turn around and confront the boys? Did he smile and acknowledge their whispers? Or did he quietly let it slide, reflecting on what he just overheard? The whisper that stopped Parker. Cold. Imagine this. Parker Schnabel, known for his larger-than-life gold mining adventures on Gold Rush, casually walks into a Taco Bell for a quick bite. In this ordinary moment, surrounded by the sizzling sounds of tortillas grilling and the buzz of conversation, something extraordinary happens. As he approaches the counter, he hears it. A faint whisper from somewhere behind him. Is that Parker Schnabel? Now, let's pause for a moment. What was so special about this whisper that it stopped him dead in his tracks? Was it just the thrill of being recognized in a random fast food joint, or was there something deeper in the tone of their voices? The whisper wasn't loud. It wasn't meant for him to hear, or was it? It was almost like a ripple in the noise of the restaurant, but it hit Parker like a bolt of lightning. There was something about the way those boys spoke, excited, maybe even awestruck, that made him freeze mid-step. He glanced over his shoulder, his curiosity immediately piqued. Two teenage boys stood near the corner, nervously glancing at him and then quickly looking away. Their body language spoke volumes. They were clearly trying to keep their cool, but their wide eyes and fidgeting hands betrayed their emotions. This wasn't Parker's first time being recognized. As a reality TV star, he's been approached by fans before. On the street, at events, and even in the middle of his grueling mining operations. But there was something different about this moment. It wasn't just what they said, it was how they said it. The tone of their voices wasn't mocking or casual. It wasn't just the excitement of spotting a celebrity. No, there was something else there, an undertone of admiration, maybe even awe. Parker could feel it in his gut. And that's what hit him. For a man who spends most of his time in the wilderness, knee-deep in mud and surrounded by heavy machinery, these moments of recognition often catch him off guard. Parker isn't someone who thrives on fame. He thrives on hard work. So when he heard that whisper, it was like a reminder of how far his story had traveled, how many people it had touched, even in places as unassuming as a Taco Bell. But there was more to it than that. As he stood there, debating whether to turn around or keep walking to the counter, he felt a surge of curiosity. What exactly were they saying? Was it just excitement about seeing him, or was there something deeper behind their words? Let's rewind for a second. Parker Schnabel is not your average TV star. He didn't step into the spotlight for glitz and glamour. He earned his fame through sheer grit, determination, and a willingness to take risks that most people wouldn't dream of. To Parker, mining is more than a job. It's a legacy, a passion, and a way of life. So when those boys whispered his name, it wasn't just a moment of recognition. It was a moment of connection. What if their words were more than admiration? What if they were a reflection of something bigger, an acknowledgement of Parker's journey, his struggles, and his triumphs? In that brief moment, Parker couldn't help but wonder, were these boys aspiring to follow in his footsteps? Were they inspired by his story? Or were they simply marveling at the fact that someone they admired was standing right in front of them? Here's where it gets interesting. What exactly did those boys whisper after recognizing Parker? The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes this moment so intriguing. He's just like us. Maybe they were struck by the fact that someone as famous as Parker was standing in line at Taco Bell, ordering a meal like any regular person. This realization, that even celebrities enjoy a late-night taco run, might have left them both amazed and comforted. "I can't believe he's here." Their whisper could have been pure disbelief. After all, how often do you spot a gold-mining TV star casually grabbing fast food? Do you think he knows how much we admire him? This one would explain the awe in their voices. Maybe they were fans who had followed his journey from the very beginning, and seeing him in person felt like a surreal moment. What if their words weren't about admiration at all? What if there was a hint of self-doubt or curiosity in their tone? Maybe they were asking each other if they had the courage to approach him, or questioning what they would even say if they did. The beauty of this moment lies in its mystery. The exact words may never be known, but the emotion behind them is what truly matters. For Parker, this whisper wasn't just a fleeting moment. It was a reminder of the impact he has on people, even when he's not mining for gold or standing in front of a camera. As he finally turned back to face the counter, the whisper lingered in his mind. It wasn't just about being recognized, it was about being seen. And for someone who has worked tirelessly to carve out his place in the world, that's a powerful thing. What would you do if you were in Parker's shoes? Would you turn around and strike up a conversation, or would you let the moment pass and leave it as a fond memory? Parker's reaction. What Parker did next wasn't just unexpected, it was unforgettable. Parker Schnabel wasn't new to being recognized. As a star of Gold Rush, he'd gotten used to fans pointing, waving, or even asking for pictures. But this moment felt different. As he stood at the Taco Bell counter, waiting for his order, the whispered words from the two boys struck him. Something in their tone, part awe, part disbelief, made him pause. He didn't need to look back to know they were talking about him, but he had to know what they were saying. Instead of brushing it off or pretending he hadn't heard, Parker took a deep breath. This was his turning point. Would he let it slide or face it head-on? Fame comes with choices, and this was one of those rare, unscripted moments where the choice could reveal everything about who Parker Schnabel truly was. Did Parker walk away, or did he lean in to hear the truth? He turned around slowly, a casual smile playing on his face. The boys, no older than 12 or 13, froze like deer caught in headlights. They had no idea their whispers had been overheard. For a second, there was a flicker of hesitation in Parker's eyes. Was it worth addressing? But then, his curiosity won. "Hey, what's up?" he asked, his voice warm but laced with intrigue. The boys looked at each other, wide-eyed, as if deciding whether to bolt or speak. Finally, one of them blurted out, Are you Parker Schnabel?" The question came out in a rush, like they couldn't believe their luck. "Yes, I am," Parker said, chuckling. "What gave it away?" The boys' nervous energy instantly shifted into excitement. One of them stammered, "We were just saying we watch Gold Rush every week. You're like the coolest guy ever." Parker wasn't expecting what came next. It was a revelation he'd carry with him. While Parker was used to being admired for his success, the boys' next words stopped him cold. "We want to be like you someday," one of them said, his voice filled with sincerity. "You never give up, even when things go wrong." It wasn't just flattery. It was admiration rooted in something deeper. These weren't just fans. They were kids who saw him as a role model. And that hit Parker in a way he didn't expect. He'd spent so much time focusing on his work, on the grueling challenges of gold mining, that he hadn't stopped to think about the impact he might be having on young viewers. For a moment, he didn't know what to say. Here he was, standing in line at Taco Bell, and two kids had just reminded him why what he did mattered beyond the show. Sometimes the most ordinary moments reveal the extraordinary. Parker didn't brush off their words. Instead, he leaned into the moment. "Thanks, guys. That means a lot," he said, his tone genuinely humble. "But, it's not always easy. It's a lot of hard work, and things don't always go the way you want them to. You just have to keep going." The boys hung on to every word, nodding like they were soaking up wisdom from their hero. Parker realized that his fame wasn't just about entertaining people. It was about inspiring them. These kids weren't just fans of his show. They were inspired by his resilience, his work ethic, and his ability to tackle challenges head-on. As he walked back to his car with his meal, Parker couldn't help but smile. It wasn't the gold he dug out of the ground that made him successful. It was moments like this. For the boys, this wasn't just a random meeting. It was a dream come true. The two boys had been whispering nervously ever since they spotted Parker in the Taco Bell line. At first, they weren't sure it was him. After all, why would someone like Parker Schnabel be ordering a burrito like a regular person? But the longer they stared, the more certain they became. "He looks just like he does on TV," one of them whispered. "Do you think he'd talk to us?" They didn't expect him to hear them. They were just kids, caught up in the excitement of seeing their hero in real life. But when Parker turned around and spoke to them, their hearts practically leaped out of their chests. How do you act when you meet the person you look up to most? For these boys, Parker Schnabel wasn't just a TV personality. He was someone they admired deeply. In their eyes, Parker wasn't just a gold miner. He was someone who took risks, worked hard, and never gave up. When he smiled at them and asked, "What's up?" they couldn't believe it. "He's actually talking to us," one of them thought, his mind racing. This wasn't just a fleeting celebrity encounter. This was Parker taking the time to connect with them, to acknowledge them. The boys whispered because they were nervous, but also because they didn't want to bother him. They knew Parker was probably busy, and they didn't want to come off as annoying. But deep down, they couldn't resist sharing their excitement. They had been watching Gold Rush for years, fascinated by Parker's journey. They admired how he faced setbacks without losing sight of his goals. To them, Parker wasn't just someone who dug for gold. He was someone who taught them the value of perseverance. When Parker spoke to them, the boys felt seen and valued. It wasn't just his words. It was the way he looked them in the eye, the way he genuinely listened. For them, this was more than just a chance meeting. It was a moment that reinforced everything they admired about him. As Parker walked away, they couldn't stop smiling. "That was so cool," one of them said. "I can't believe he actually talked to us." Later, as they told their friends and family about the encounter, their excitement was palpable. Meeting Parker had been a dream come true, not just because he was famous, but because he had taken the time to connect with them on a human level. For both Parker and the boys, this brief interaction was more than just a fleeting moment. It was a reminder of the power of connection, of how even small gestures can leave a lasting impact. Parker walked away with a renewed sense of purpose, while the boys walked away inspired to chase their own dreams. In the end, it wasn't about Taco Bell, fame, or even gold mining. It was about the magic that happens when worlds collide and people take the time to listen to each other. As Parker Schnabel drove away from that Taco Bell, he wasn't thinking about the meal he'd just picked up or the next big gold mining challenge on his horizon. Instead, his mind lingered on the brief but meaningful exchange with the two boys. It wasn't often that he got to see, up close, the impact his work and his journey had on others. For Parker, this was more than just a casual fan interaction. It was a powerful reminder of the responsibility and privilege that came with his fame. In their innocent admiration, those boys had shown him that his determination, grit, and resilience weren't just entertainment. They were a source of inspiration. And for the boys, the moment was equally priceless. Meeting Parker wasn't just about saying hello to someone they admired. It was a moment that solidified their dreams and showed them that even the people they look up to most are human, kind, approachable, and willing to connect. Sometimes it's not about where you are or what you're doing. It's about the unexpected connections that remind us what really matters. In the grand scheme of things, this chance encounter may have lasted only a few minutes, but for Parker and those two boys, it was a memory that would stick with them for years to come. Because sometimes the most valuable things in life aren't gold or fame. They're the connections we make along the way. And who knows? Maybe one day those boys will grow up to follow in Parker's footsteps, digging deep, not just for treasure, but for the resilience, determination, and heart that make life truly golden. To stay with Parker on this incredible journey, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you won't miss the next unbelievable twist in this unfolding tale.